Right. So what numbers? So think of factors of this place. It's like the rest. So what numbers would you put together to make 46? What numbers would you put together to make 46? Can you circle the ones that are common? How much over the years? Whereas now, if you go now, it'll be a deduction. If you wait till after your exit ticket's done, it won't be. No, it's never going to be one. There will always be something. Yeah, between seconds. What I paid for this worksheet. So what? This one? So what numbers? 42.
6.
7 and 6 and 1 and 42 and 2 and 12 or 2 and 16. 26. No. 16. Just talk about people. Oh. 2. Oh. 21. 21. Oh, so you figure out what's one number and 1 to 42 all by together equals 42. We might even have 2 plus numbers. It's a good thing I did this. No, it's never going to be one. There's always something there. Right, so what would you like? Yeah, but here's like very effective. 7. All right, in 1 minute, make sure it's in the middle and your notebook's open to go. You can get the I can statement down right away. And today's lesson is lesson 71, so you can get that right in on top. Your notebooks, I'm going to say, were not that great. There are some people who had awesome notes, some people who didn't really have awesome notes. Make sure you get the number and the I can statement, because otherwise the notes just look like gibberish if I don't know where it's from. I can guess by the order, but I'm not supposed to be guessing. I should know exactly where these notes are from. If you haven't turned in your notes yet, make sure you give them to me either right at the end of class, because you need today's notes for your next time I grade it, or bring it in to me at the study hall and I can hopefully grade it pretty darn quick. And if you haven't noticed, I'm practicing for Irish St. Patty's Day, practicing my Irish accent. Sounds pretty good, right? I'm also Irish, so it helps. Perez? Wednesday, next week. We do have school. No one cares about the Irish that much to get a day off. All righty. What you do now in the middle so I can collect it during your exit ticket. Like I said before, you need the I can statement so you know what we're talking about. And then you also need the lesson number on top, at least the lesson number on top. I'm not too caring about the words because sometimes they can get pretty wordy. I'll make you copy the I can statement. Pretty much the same way. So lesson 71. We're talking about finding the whole group when a fraction is known. The I count statement, which I'll be asking you at the very end to see if you are okay with it, is I can develop the whole group when a fraction is known. Say with me. I can develop the whole group when a fraction is known. And it's on both sides. So make sure you understand that. And you have that down. Raise or nod your head or say or raise your hand if you remember these boxes. Or you had to say, well, we had 2 to the 4th of them equals 4. So 4 divided by 2, you got 2 all the way across, and you found it like this. Anyone remember that? Same thing we're going to be doing today, except they're not going to tell you how many there are in total. Because that's what it means. They're going to give us a fraction of the group, and you got to find the rest. All right, example 1. With Juan finishing page 51, he was 3/8 of the way through his book. His book had how many pages? Another way to think about it, so we're going to do 2 examples of the same question. One with the graph and one with the formula. This is the one with the graph. First, you got to make a square. How many boxes do you put in this square? Carrie Ellie.
8.
Perez, why should you say 8?
Because the denominator is 8.
Right, the denominator is always the whole of what you're looking at. Make sure you're sitting up, otherwise you're going to get a deduction. Getting kind of tired of that. Awesome speaking with an Irish accent. Irish people are not always nice. Ask my grandma when I got in trouble. Anyway, the denominator is always going to be the whole of the group. So Carrie is right, and Perez is right in explaining that you're going to need 8 lines. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We know that 3 of these 8 boxes are 51 pages. What will we do with all the puzzle pieces we have? We have a 51, we have 3 8s, we use the 8th. That's how we figure out how many sections are in the box. With the 51 and 3, what are you going to do to find how many individual pages are in each chapter? Let's say you say these 8 boxes are a chapter. How many pages would be in each of these chapters? How would you find that? Josiah?
Divide.
Right, divide. You would put 51 inside the house, 3 knocking at the door. I'll give you a couple seconds when you have the answer. Strongly raise your hand. Tyler?
That would be
Not fast enough.
17.
Oh, you got it. Okay. When I call on you, better be ready to go. 17. So that means in each one of these boxes, or each one of these chapters, there's 17 pages. Now, let's figure out how many pages are in the chapters he have left. Karma, how many chapters are left that are not part of the 3 down here? How many are left? There's 5 of them left. How will we find the total amount of these 5 boxes? Ethan?
You gotta do 5 times 3. Oh, wait, 5 times 17.
There you go. Cedric, which gets you 85. So in these 5 boxes, there's 85 pages left. Are we done? Was that our answer? 85? Might want to give in the peer pressure a little bit because the people who are showing me right now are saying we're correct. Right, we're not done because, again, with these 3 questions on your exit ticket, on your homework, probably the most important thing for you to do, Haley, Karma, Joanne, Lanisha, Ethan, Josiah, Mackenzie, Harry, yeah, I thought I would get you with that, is that you have to read the questions. It says his book had how many pages. So it's asking about the total. What can you do to find the total? Add, subtract, multiply, divide. Jawan? Not subtract. Perez? Not,
Multiply.
not multiply, because then you get a huge book. And Jawan, or not Jawan, but Juan doesn't really want to read that huge book. Lanisha? Not divide. Malik? You would add them. 85 plus 51. Raise your hand strong and silently when you get that answer. Carry on.
136.
136 pages. Would be your answer. All right. This is asking how many in total. Was there a faster way you could have found the total? Because someone brought this up the last class. There is, but I like doing it this way to show you all the different steps. But Tyler, what could you have done instead? Carry on.
Could just do it 17 times 8.
Right. So in the future, if you're looking at this kind of problem, it's how many in total? What you could have done instead is take 17 times 8, and you would get the total amount of pages because that's how many in total, if your brain works that way. My brain, I like doing it this way because I see all the different parts, and if I make a mistake, I can go back and look and say, oh, that's why I put 84 instead of 85. All right? Any questions on how you found this? Please make sure this is all in your notes. Because like I said, you all graded on these now. All right, moving on. And if you forget, if you happen to miss something or whatever, go to your book and copy it down because it tells you exactly the same thing. All right, example number 2. Using the story from example number 1, I can express the following equation. 3/8 P, make sure you copy this equation down, equals 51. This will be probably one of the most important things to do because everything we did before can be cut in half by just doing this. But you got to make sure you do it step by step exactly correct. So as I'm going through these notes, make sure you're doing it step by step. Tissue? No, hands up. I want to explain it. I want to explain it first. All right. So on this side, we got 3P equals 51. The objective, the goal of equations like this is you have to get the variable, which in this case is P, by itself. You need to get it alone. So in order to do that, I'm going to take 8/3 times 3/8 P equals 51. I'm going to stop right there. There's going to be more to it. Why did I take 8/3 times 3/8? What happens when you multiply a fraction by its reciprocal? Arielle? That's what reciprocal is, yes. Love how you remember that word. Cedric? Yes, but what whole number? That's the important part of this. Perez? Not 2. Jawan? Ethan? You get 1. Because 8, well, let's do cross simplification. That's so much easier. 8 go, how many times can 8 go into 8? Well, once. How many times can 3 go into 3? Once. So now you're left with 1P equals, but you don't want to put 1P, that's weird. So you just put P, because now 1 is just gone, it's invisible, it doesn't matter, because whatever you multiply 1 by P. Now, since I had to multiply this side by 8/3, and maybe you're thinking about this, I know I use this example a lot. You have brothers and sisters or cousins or family members. If they get something, you should get something as well. Like if you get a couple pieces of candy, they should get a couple pieces of candy, right? Last class said no, and made me feel like they weren't really loved that much. But using that analogy of the perfectly heavenly world where you get equal amount of stuff, because that's really going to only happen in heaven, what do we have to do to the other side? What do we have to do with that 51? Josiah? Not divided. Lanisha? Not added. Nope, you got to do exactly the same thing you have to do over here, which is carry on. by, nope, 8/3. Because we had to multiply by 8/3 on this side to get to 1. So on this side, we also have to multiply by 8/3. Now, going again, because we're super lazy, or at least I am, we can cross reduce. And you should already know all these answers. I'm not going to put a 1 underneath because I think that's going to distract you. But yes, there is an invisible 1. Someone asked that in the last test. Yes, there's an invisible 1 underneath the 51. But I think it's going to distract you. Now, we know for a fact that 3 goes into 51. 3 goes into 3 one time. What is 51 divided by 3? Oh, you should have 8 boxes of it. Joanne? 17. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm sorry. We're right up here. So now we have 17 times 8. And now, what's our final answer? What is 17 times 8? You should know it already because we did it the last problem. Perez?
Oh, it's 124.
Not 124.
136.
136. Make sure you check your handwriting. Make sure it's nice and clear so that even you can read it. I know I have that problem a lot. So example 1, example 2, same exact problem, same exact answer, but there's 2 different ways to finding it. It's up to you. I would like on your exit ticket to kind of show a little bit of what you did. If you like the boxes, do the boxes. Draw a box. If you would like to do it this way, do it this way. Just show me how you set up your equation. That way I can see what you did wrong. But any questions on how we found that? All you're taking is the reciprocal of the fraction and multiplying it by how many pages they got you. That's all you're doing. Hopefully you all know how to find the reciprocal. Like Carrie Ellie said, it's just a flip. Example 3, last one, and then you get your exit ticket. And you have a lot of time to work on it. That's going to be great. As Sakura, wow, we're getting to Naruto here. Yeah. But as Sakura,
I don't like her.
I don't like it.
Bring it back. That's my fault. I brought her up. I know she's hated, but let's move on. Went from room to room. She found 3/5 of the lights were on, and that 30 lights were off. How many lights were on? There's something really different about this problem. What is the difference from the first one? I'm going to give like these same 5 people payments because they consistently raise their hand. Perez, Carrielli, Cedric, Tyler, and Ethan. What's different about this problem? Cedric?
I don't know.
Okay. Tyler?
It says we're trying to find how many lights. Oh,
Josiah?
I'm trying to find like how many lights are on.
Mm-hmm. But what's the difference?
30.
Perez?
is instead of dividing, we multiply.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys. It's because they give you the fraction for how many were on, but they give you the total for how many are off. Last problem, they gave you the same. They said that he read this many pages, this fraction of book, and there was the total of this many pages. This time, they give you the opposites. Make sure you're sitting up so you don't get a deduction. Is it locked? You're gonna have to go ask Mr. because I don't have the key for it. All right, so I'm gonna again draw a box because that's my favorite way. Strong silent hand. How many squares are inside of it? Ethan, thank you for having a straight back. Josiah, thank you for having a straight back. Tyler, thank you for having a straight back. Karma, thank you for checking me with a straight back. And Ariane, it's gonna be a deduction. I need you to sit up. Anyway, try it. Maybe it's the back side. I don't know. But anyway, Ethan, how many boxes?
5.
5, right. Karma, why is it 5 boxes?
is your number on the.
Right, it's the denominator. Now we have 3/5 of the lights were on. So we got 1, 2, 3. So 3/5 were on. And over here, we know that there's, off. Sorry. 30 lights are off. 3/5 of them are on. The first step to find the answer is to what would be the fraction for the 30 that are off? Somebody's like keeping the words. What's the fraction? Now, Perry, I need you to sit up. What's the fraction for the 30 that are off? Don't think too hard. I already showed you how many. What would the fraction be? Kyla? Sorry, what? Not 1/5. A little bit more than 1/5. Lanisha, keep it with the girls.
2/3.
Not 5/3. Perez?
2/5.
2/5. All right. Because there's 2 boxes. How do we find the individual amount in those boxes, Tyler?
It would be 30 divided by 5 times 3.
No.
Oh, wait.
It'd be 30 divided by.
2 times 3.
No, it's just divided by 2. Which gets you, Tyler? Tyler, I get what you're saying, but I'm not asking for that. I'm asking for how many are in these boxes.
Oh, that gets you the invitation.
All I heard was something about drinking. It's okay. Lanisha, it'll be 15. You have the giggles today for some reason. Which means that the rest are all 15. Now, what can you do to find those 3 boxes? The total of those 3 boxes. There's 2 ways, one really easy way. Ethan, because we're short on time. 15 times 3. And Kyla, what's your answer? 45. Lights. Make sure you have labels. I will hand it back to you if you do not have labels. Any questions on how we found that? Chris, you have a question?
So whatever like you know how you said, and then that number is 30. So whatever the 2, do we always have to multiply the numerator by that, like the whole number?
So you mean when you find this, you always have to multiply by the numerator to find the missing? Yes, because if you multiply by the denominator, you find the total. But it's asking here, right here, how many lights were on. So you have to multiply by how many lights were on. So think of it, here's 5 rooms in the building. Sakura, because she failed the tuning exams, has to go check the lights. She finds 3 rooms with 15 lights still on. How many lights were there? If you multiply it by 5, you get the total, but you need to multiply by 3 because she only found 3 rooms. Okay? Karma?
So whatever the denominator is what you divide the whole number by?
No. Whatever the numerator is for the part you have. So you don't want to divide it by the whole number because 30 divided by 5 is 6. We don't have 6 here. So you have to divide what number they gave you, for instance, this one's 30, by how many boxes it takes up. So since it takes up 2 of the 5 boxes, divide it by 2. If it took up 5 of the boxes, then divide it by 5. If it takes up 3 of the boxes, divide it by 3. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some of you want to do the boxes. Maybe that'll be a lot easier because you think like, ooh, gotta get the number of boxes. All right, Perry, I've been waiting very patiently for you to sit up. Go to the back. Give me a minute, cool down. All right, any other questions? If you can confidently say, I can find the whole, I can develop the whole group when a fraction is known. Raise your pencil above your head. You have 3 problems, exactly like we did on the board. Make sure you read so you know exactly what you're looking for. Wait until I say go. If you need some more help or you're still confused, then keep your pencil down and I'll be around to help. Get ready. Get set. Go. 4 seconds. Out for 4 seconds. 10 minutes. Clean it up. Okay, so let's go through. What is that? Okay, clear that. So do that to number 1. So how many boxes will there be set up? 4 fifths. Alright. Then it says bracket the same number of parts as the numeric. So 4 fifths to make a bracket for 4 of the boxes. Serious? Ethan, can you please order? Oh, also, don't forget, I know we had a test for today, but if I hear a peep, get all 30 problems. You hand up, collect the now, and then, all right. All right. You should have 4 boxes. And the 4 boxes is 16. Make sure you check the top, because Tom tells you step by step on how to do it. Right, you got 4, so these 4 boxes are 16. And you just have to add the last box. You get them. No, 16 is just so these 4 boxes. Equals 16. Now you're going from a bigger to a smaller. You would just divide using all the divided. 16 divided by 4. You got it right. You got the first part right. Okay, so that means each inside these boxes is 4. Okay, so now we know that factor each is 16, so I'm going to do the last box of the box and add it to this. Then you have a visual. Maybe. Yeah. You got the first one right. Make sure you have labels. Yeah, you get the first one right. Perfect. Now do the second one. Just make sure you understand what you're looking for. Oh, I was You have 2 minutes. What's the fraction? 2/5. Even if it's finally helpful. First, you make go. Oh, you had to wait.
Which one?
So how many people are going to the bathroom in that class? We might have to-
So, what you want to do is approximate. So, run is 6.8 plus 6.09.
Do start with the even, remember, it's the one toss.
So then
Okay.
you gotta
So you did this one?
divide by,
One more time.
so 5 of these are gonna be maybe $25. So that would be 5 divided by 25. Would be 5. So they're all gonna be 5.
So now,
So, and then one of these is gonna be 61. So basically, it's 5 plus 25. What's your answer? $30. You know?
no, because it says for the physical. So it's gonna be how many people are in the room all together. 60 of them in the audience.
So
Don't forget to get 60 of
basically,
them.
gonna be 6 boxes.
Put that all in one. You get 60 in each of the boxes.
Just so you did it one.
So you have to divide the numerator by the actual total amount.
No, the two is
Or the amount that's given. So 5 divided by 25 would be 5.
So don't put the two inside. Okay, so it's saying inside.
So 5 would be in all the boxes.
It would equal to the 60. Okay, so that takes 100
All
60.
So then all of those combined is your answer, but in dollars, because you're looking for the
And fill in the
house, not how many books. So 5 times 6, basically.
Yeah, evens for right now. I'll let you guys know at the end of the class.
What's the denominator of the fraction? So 5 boxes. It's 30. Because 30 by 2 is 60. So that's basically can be the only boxes. Because that means you put them together and it's 60.
It shouldn't take long.
60, right? 7 and 20.